tonight we have a legend on the channel. And Eddy Lepp, can you might be introduce yourself a
Well,
little bit from your side? A lot of us knew you very much, but there are also young people watching.
my name is Eddie. I've been in the cannabis movement for approximately 60 some years. Uh, I'm a fifth generation grower. My family's been doing this 5 generations. Uh, I was the first person arrested, tried, and acquitted under California's medical marijuana laws. My darling wife was the first caregiver arrested, tried, and acquitted under California's medical marijuana laws. So we've got a rather storied history between us. But the region of Europe that you're talking about, I've traveled to probably 18 or 20 times in the last 15 or years. It's one of my very favorite places in the whole world is Europe. I truly enjoy the architecture and the history, and I just love going to Europe. But the thing about this plan is that the more you're aware of it, the more you come in contact with it, the more you use it, the more you see what it can be used for and what it does. The more it's easier to accept the truth of the situation. An example is I've been tried twice, once by the state government, once by the federal government. Both of the prosecutors wanted to put me in prison for the rest of my life. We went to trial. Both of those men, both of them, quit their jobs and went to work as defense drug attorneys within 90 days of my cases. Now, what's that tell you?
Sometimes the law isn't always right.
That's right. And I've been treated with great respect, even though we've disagreed. The proof is that it's without a doubt the most viable plant in the history of mankind. The uses for it are beyond belief. The number one most used product in the world right now is sea kelp, and it's in approximately 1,200 to 1,500 products. Everything from toothpaste to shoe polish and everything in between. It's estimated that if scientists had the same freedom to experiment with hemp and cannabis like they do with sea kelp, that within 3 to 5 years, cannabis and hemp would be in over 25,000 products. Now, they've had hundreds of years to do sea kelp, and the most they can come up with is 1,500 uses. In 3 years, cannabis will have 25,000. You make CDs, you make rubber, you make plastic,
Fuel, clothing.
You throw that shit in the ocean. 500 years from now, the goddamn plastic's still fucking up the ocean. You make the shit out of hemp, and within 12 months, it's completely biodegradable and accepted and destroyed. All we got to do is quit using petroleum-based oil and start using hemp-based oil, and 99% of our climate problem goes away.
Well, I have a straight question back coming to the jail thing. Because we have heard rumors that if you have been once in jail in the US, you are not allowed to vote anymore. Is this really true, or is this a rumor?
It's true and it's false. It depends on the individual state. While I was actually on probation, I could not vote.
I see.
But the day my probation ended, it was legal for me to register to vote, and I could vote.
Let's say this is still unusual for us here, because also even if you're in jail, you have the right to vote in Germany and in most European countries. So we are wondering about the system, yeah, let's say it makes a lot of things also clear about the system. So how long you have been in total in the jail in your life?
Well, dealing specifically with marijuana, I've spent right at 10 years of my life in prison over marijuana.
And it was in California, or was it in a different state?
When I was in the federal government, I was in Texas, Colorado, Arizona, California.
They move the prisoners everywhere.
Yeah,
they don't
leave me anywhere because I was too notorious. They'd leave me someplace a year or two and then move me.
And so, for those, this sounds very, very harsh punishment for us, for cannabis. Even we are used to get punished about it. But let's say it's more formalistic. You lose money, but 10 years of prison, it's you must be like a very, very, very hard guy, and not for cannabis normally. Yeah. However, all those times spent it and wasted. How do you see it? Do you see a real do you see any output for yourself also out of this engagement, or do you see you have moved the things forward?
The thing is this: I never did this to be famous. I never did this to get rich. I saw a bunch of beautiful young men dying, and nobody was doing a damn thing to help them. And I did. And it ended up turning into a 35-year career of trying to help people. I'm literally famous over here for giving away millions of dollars worth of cannabis to AIDS patients. That's how I got my reputation. There's never been anything to me to make money off of or to improve my quality of life off of. But I said when I first got out of prison, and I will say it again, if me going away for the 8 years I went away for is what it took to allow this mom and pop lazy community to become the thriving industry that it is today, then you'll give it the same chance to grow in the next 10 years, come and fucking get me. Because I'll do another 10.
A lot changed while he was there, and a lot changed because of what he did.
Yeah, you talked about, the first wave growers, the first generation growers. I mean, we in Europe mostly, let's say, heard about California and cannabis thing from movies with Cheech and Chong.
Two of my best friends.
So tell me, what is the true thing about Cheech and Chong, and what is like the Hollywood extra masquerade? How did you feel about when it began compared with today's industry?
Yeah, okay, we're coming back. We're coming back.
But I've been friends with Tommy about 20 years and with Cheech about, I don't know, 15. But oh, they're incredible. They're just such an inspiration. I was able to give Tommy one of his Lifetime Achievement Awards. And I don't know, we've been friends for many, many years. I got his number on speed dial. So it's pretty neat.
Now, a lot of the people originally thought that because it was a comedy and it kind of put cannabis in a bad light, some people didn't like it, but we understand that it was a comedy and a joke, and you know, we also see the serious side.
Up in smoke, baby. Up in smoke. But no, we've been truly blessed. Like I said, I've come to that part of Europe for many, many years. I'm very, very dear friends with Soma, Ariane from Greenhouse, the Dreckard boys from Sensi Seeds, Patrick and Luke from Paradise, KC Brains, the DNA boys. I mean, I know almost everybody intimately. I've been going over there 20 years, and you know, it's just for me been a wonderful marriage of European and American thoughts. We've collaborated over the years. Different strains have come from one side of the pond to the other, and you know, we've ended up, you know, being a true community, being a true family. And you know, I'm tasting death right now. I may have as little as 3 or 4 months left. I may have as much as 3 or 4 years. We just don't know. But I've never been so happy. I've never been so blessed. I've never had so much fun in my life. And it is what you make out of it. And,
You are totally right. It's the momentum.
the way I lived. I wide and handsome.
So you just married, you took a chance, and
She took the chance. I knew what I was doing. She's the one that jumped in barefoot and naked.
Truth was, he just wanted to get me before the cancer got too bad and I'd run away.
Had to rope her in before I started drooling on myself.
That's what he says. But you know, I was with him for a few years hanging out and I'd run away. And you don't leave a friend when they get sick.
Had to rope her in before I started drooling on myself.
That's what he says.
We'll be on friendship now.
It worked out. But you know, I was with him for a few years hanging out and I'd run away.
So,
and you don't leave a friend when they get sick.
what is the situation now in California? You have you officially have to stay at home because of the pandemic, or is it recommended, or you can do everything?
Well,
how crazy is it?
It's a little mixed up. You know, they want us to wear a mask and try to stay at home. But if you need to go to the store, you can go to the store, you know.
But you have to wear a mask.
But that's kind of scary here because there's no reason in the world for this to be where it's at. This should have been stopped months ago. So all we can do is hope that Trump gets out of there as soon as possible and somebody responsible will get in there and try to fix this mess.
So yes, about fix this mess. Of course, one of the like main points of this year was or is still the election of
Yeah.
U.S. president. So, is Biden going to fix something? How do you think about him?
Well,
And
obviously, COVID is worldwide, and one person can't fix that. But hopefully, they'll have more cooperation and more of a understanding and more of a gentle communication between all the different places of the world to work together to solve the COVID.
and also because many of our viewers are asking for it. There is a lot of hope that Camila Harris will do something about the cannabis thing. Do you have an opinion on Camila Harris, or do you trust her to change something, or is this
I
just
think
an
I
illusion?
trust her a little more than me.
Let me be quite honest. And I hope you guys will forgive my language. I don't trust any of them cocksuckers. They are the biggest bunch of no good backstabbing sons of bitches that ever drew a breath.
Oh my God!
That's sad.
I'm so
That's
happy we are on an adult channel.
That said,
That said, I've had to deal with these people for almost 30 years. And if you don't have the courage to take that step, to put that hand out, to offer that olive branch, all you're ever going to get is stuck in the eye with the sharp end. You've got to trust them. You've got to believe in them. And you've got to hope to God that one day you meet one that'll actually do what they promise you. I do have great faith in Camila Harris trying to change our judicial system. And I certainly hope that in the process, it will make the cannabis laws fair, because I have never asked, not one time in 30 years, have I ever asked for a favor. I've never once said, hey, I'm special. I've never once said, hey, let me do this or let me do that. All I have ever said is enforce the law equally. Treat me just the same as you treat the man next to me or the woman next to him. And I think now the government side of this is starting to realize that. The good, the benefits, they're seeing the medical benefits, they're becoming more and more aware of the industrial benefits. And I believe that we're going to see Biden do something along the agricultural lines. And I do believe that Camila is going to try to do something along the recreational lines. It's certainly my hope, my prayer, and what I will be working very hard to see if we can get something done on.
Okay. And nowadays, when you just in this moment, the one of the very big convention in Las Vegas is beginning. Of course, this year digitally. But let's say it's really huge event for quite big companies, for a lot of investors. Going back, let's say 30 years, have you ever thought something like this could happen to the cannabis industry, with convention with 25,000 businessmen coming together and making business with the plant? And if you would imagine this 30 years ago, would you make any change in your strategy, or what you try to say?
Let me answer this one. When we started in California under 215, there was a community, there was farmers markets, there was people that gathered together. And when you go to these events, you knew everybody, and there was all these people that were small farmers. Now, you basically have the larger, big industrial, huge companies, and it's no longer a family affair. So what I would change is bring it back to the way 215 was, to where the patients have a right to grow without these limitations, so that it's not only the people with the 20 acres, the millions of dollars that are allowed to participate in these large events. Because before, people like us were allowed to participate. We are no longer allowed to participate. Only the huge companies that have multi-millions that have paid their local government officials for their permits are allowed to participate.
So would you agree that the actual system to legalize in US makes the grass more expensive then?
I agree.
Well,
Now,
well,
the 64 does, the 215 didn't.
again, it all depends. You know, again, as I said, I believe they're starting to see the other side of this. And I believe in the next 2 to 5 years that we can sit down, carry on some honest dialogue, and come to some compromises. This is a plant, an agricultural plant. And right now they're treating it like the golden goose. They're literally raping us over permits, taxes, etc.
Yeah.
If we were treated like any other plant, like an apple or oranges, we'd have it made. But they treat us like we're the end all do all to their money problems. And they're wiping out the mom and pop small farmers by doing it, which is
Yep.
what is the backbone of this industry and always has been.
Yep. The new laws have basically made it impossible for the small farmers. You have to have 20 acres minimum in a special agricultural reserve area, non-agricultural reserve area, which basically there's very little of that land available. And the people that knew about these rules bought up that land before the rules became public.
I see. So, so in fact, for like Melissa told me that there is some initiative to make the clubs, which are dispensaries, that they have to also make something like a medicinal side program for people who cannot really afford the high prices.
Right.
A friend of mine opened a dispensary last year in the county next to mine. It cost him $1.4 million. That was for the building, the permits. It was the whole shittery. But it was $1.4 million to open the doors for a dispensary.
This is quite a huge amount. It's
Well, that's my whole point.
How to say it's normal business.
No, it's fucking insane. If I wanted to raise apples, I'd go down and spend $1,000 on apples and plant them. Now I got to go down and spend $1 million to get a goddamn permit before I can even buy the apple.
Yeah, it's unfair. They should treat cannabis like they treat apples. They should treat it all evenly. And the agricultural runoff is what should be judged, not they're using chemicals and this and that in the grapes and the apples. That's what should be judged, is what they're doing to the agriculture. Right now, the cannabis can be grown organically. Ed is known as the first farmer ever to grow large-scale organic cannabis. And that's what we want to promote and talk about, is that it should all be grown organically. And if that's done, it's actually good for the environment.
Might be I'm making some promotion for another very, from our side, historic person. We are very much influenced with our work by Andre First, and who teached us just to take sun and Swiss water for cultivating any plant, and he had very, very great success with it. It has to do a lot with love, and he was cultivator of very, very effective medicine. Even he didn't use any fertilizer. Genius. So we are very open for, you don't need a lot to grow really good product with cannabis.
Well, my darling wife and a friend of ours have actually put together an entire growing program to teach people how to grow from the rudimentary start to the serious, sophisticated. Help you hook up.
So it's all within the soil. This is the thing. You can
you
just use water.
Don't grow plants.
You don't use fertilizer. You take care of your soil and you feed your soil.
Yeah, you grow root systems.
You don't grow the plant. You grow the roots.
Never grow a plant. Grow a root system.
You feed the roots. You feed the soil. You don't need fertilizers. It should all be within the soil. The soil should be mixed properly before the plants put in it. Then all you need is water. Matter of fact, the plants I grew this year, all they had was water because he was so sick.
That's all she could
that I couldn't even mix my own things, because I usually ferment my own probiotic formulas and do what I do. But because he was so ill, I just stayed with him. And all I did was I put on an automated watering system, and luckily I had good soil. Patrick King, Soil King, he makes amazing soil. I used all of his soil and all of my plants, and all I did, big root soil. And all I did was, if you get big root soil, all you got to do is add water, nothing more, and you will have a harvest, guaranteed. Guaranteed, because I did. All I did was automated watering system.
And yes, big root soil is on its way to Europe. We're already in 4 or 5 foreign countries, and I'm not sure when we're going to Europe, but we are on the way. I know we've got the negotiations with somebody.
So seriously, you can easily grow without any pesticides or any fertilizers. And the pesticide side of it, people don't realize it, but lemon juice with a little beer, something simple as that could get rid of all of your pests. You know, and you don't need to spend $40, $50 per bottle on pesticides. Ferment some lemon juice. You can look it up on Google, lemon juice ferment for pesticide. So yeah, we try to go completely organic, and like I was saying, feed the soil. If you want to do something, maybe add a little worm casting, add a little, mulch, a little, something on top.
Okay. Then I have to ask you a very interesting question, of course, more for us, for the outlanders, not from California. But we have the theory that many years Amsterdam was something like the capital city of global cannabis movement. Then for some years it moved to Barcelona. For some years it moved to Denver. And nowadays it moved to California. But in the end, there can just be one like capital city. And the question is it San Francisco or is it Los Angeles?
Neither.
Just question,
It's neither one of them. The heart of dankness resides in Lake County, California, about 2 hours north of San Francisco, and goes from there to the Oregon border. It's referred to as the Emerald Triangle, and it is the heart of dankness.
Okay,
basically, we're at the very bottom. We're at the very bottom of the Emerald Triangle where we are. But the Emerald Triangle is the heart.
Yes, of course.
California and all of the cannabis is grown.
So, so it's something like the Napa Valley for wine, or
most definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So if somebody from Europe wants really to travel, really something like a cannabis journey, the Triangle is the spot. Yes.
Oh yeah, we definitely could help out.
You let us know if we tell them where to go.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes we're traveling. We love some original places.
You boys get over this way. I'll show you some of the finest gardens in the world.
So yes, we will we'll post also some of the links down in the comments, and also it's a special time. It's a really double special time, not just because of pandemic, not just because of election. It's crazy about cannabis. Only on one week, and 4 new states legalize or partly legalize marijuana and medicinal marijuana. So we are waiting a lot more. I hope you agree on this, and we want also to thank you, and we know exactly that there is also a need to support you in this very hard time, and that's why, please, everybody who is watching this channel, also in the comments, there is a link. You can sponsor us in supporting Eddy, and we want to express that really somebody who pushed the things forward for all of us on the planet, not just for US. And we know exactly how important it is that US in the end will legalize and will also overtake responsibility to finish the war on drugs. US is also very important for us because our politicians talking to us that the big brother is forbidding us to legalize.
Just remember,
when we legalize, there is no reason anymore to stop.
There's legalization and decriminalization. Just make sure you know the difference.
Yes, we have gone from let's say something. We officially in Germany we are allowed to use it. We are just punished for possessing it. But let's say if you found something, some ready to be smoking joint, spliff, and you smoke it very fast, nobody can say you possess it ever. So you can get stoned very much, but never. Anyhow, now for 3 years we have medicinal marijuana legal, and the crazy thing for U.S. American, it's for the majority of the ill people, it's overtaken by health insurance. So many of my friends receive a prescription, and afterwards they receive from the pharmacy cannabis, which is worth about $25 per gram. Can you imagine Jack Cara grass to be sold for 25 euro for 20 euro a gram to patients, and just another with another label?
There's a lag, I guess.
What are we saying? I don't get it.
I don't know. Can you see it?
What's going on there?
Hello.
I still can hear you and understand you, but there is a big delay in
Yeah, I hear that. Maybe if you turn down the speaker. Just turn down your speaker.
Maybe our admin can do something about it.
Seems to.
Well, I'd just like to say, you pointed out that we could certainly lose I've got literally tens of thousands of dollars unpaid medical bills right now. I've lost my home. I've had 2 heart attacks and 3 seizures and 7 trips to the hospital. The point is I hate asking for things. I hate asking for help. I'm an artist, and I have quite a bit of artwork that Sandy I have. And if anybody would be interested in supporting us by buying my artwork and allowing me to still maintain my dignity as a man by in some small way paying my own way. There's information about how to get a hold of us, and I really appreciate it. The artwork is truly beautiful. It's all cannabis related, and I'm quite proud of it.
I'll send you some links and stuff. So
Let me say I agree with you 100%. I feel the same about asking for money. And that's why I'm asking for your favor, because I appreciate for your work, which you have done for many, many decades. And
So much.
you have been in prison for all of us to change the things. And the least thing is to ask for money. And I hope that some of our viewers will really overtake some responsibility and please act now. Comment.
if you're interested in any of his art, just go ahead and go to his Facebook page and you can contact us. Thank you.
Oh no, this is a pleasure for us. And now let me get back with one question. Because in the background there's Jack Harrer. Let's say theoretically he would jump in this digital conference now. Just appear on the channel. What would you tell him nowadays about to update him very fast? What has happened since he was on the journey?
Well, Jack moved up to Lake County 10 years before he died to be with me. We were best friends. We were inseparable. We spent 250 to 300 days a year on the road together, going to events worldwide. He was without a doubt the greatest hero I've ever had in my life, equaled only by Dennis Perone. My two best friends, the other two musketeers.
Okay. I think this was some nice words also about Jack Harrer and also somehow connected to this wonderful Sunday. We had now a conversation for about 45 minutes and the connection is sometimes a little bit wonky. Is there anything you would like to tell the whole world, or especially also the European audience?
I would just like to say this. As I expressed earlier, I've been coming to Europe for many, many years. And some of my most beautiful friendships, some of the most beautiful, wonderful people I know have come out of that. I cannot help but feel blessed that I was able to go to Europe and enjoy the culture, the friendships, and the many, many wonderful experiences that I've had there over the years. And I thank everybody that I had the pleasure of coming in contact with for enlightening my life and making each and every day a better day for me by your presence.
Okay, so I appreciate very much for your time, and I wish really best luck for all efforts, and I would say see you very soon again. Sandra and Eddie, really very much thank you for your time on Sunday. This is really
Anytime you guys want to do an interview, you call. We're here for
If you
you.
want to talk about organic farming, bioremediation, anything that we can talk about that's positive and puts cannabis in the light, we'd be more than happy to help.
super. We will do.
Peace out.
Enjoy the wonderful day. Thank you and see
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.